Hey, welcome back. All right, we're starting our live stream and we're going to discuss the Singapore Grand Prix along with some events, some news in Formula One that's been happening over the past week. And I hope you are enjoying the stream. We're just starting back. We're doing a live commentary on what we saw this past weekend, okay? So let's get started. So, one thing we did notice. 1 second here. All right. So, 1 hour before the race, there was rain. So there was really low grip. And, sorry, let me get my notes here. I'm just getting my notes ready. Can I move them over here? All right. Okay, so rain 1 hour before the race. There was really low grip in the beginning of the race, and there was some slippage. Now, beginning of lap one, boom, George Russell gets out in first place. And then we get the controversy. Lando Norris passes Oscar Piastri on lap one. Damage to Lando's front wing, end plate. And George builds up a lead, 4.2 second lead. And at about lap 15, that's when the first set of pit stops happen. Lando pits lap 17. Nope, it was a fake out. They didn't actually pit lap 17. Lap 20, we have Max Verstappen coming in for hard tires. And then Max comes out in 7th place. Lap 23, we hear over the radio, Max saying he's not having a great race. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to add another screen so I can talk about the slides as we go. Okay? Give me 1 second here. So it was a pretty good race. There was the drama that happened at the end of the race. Okay. So all right. So let me pull up some pictures here. Oh, actually. Okay. I'm going to do with the notes. And then we're going to pull up pictures individually as we go on. So we'll just do with the notes of the race first. All right. So, as we said, lap 3. Nope. We're on lap, we're talking about pit stops started happening at lap 15. So lap 17, it looks like Lando Norris is going to do a pit stop. No, McLaren is just baiting the other teams. Max laps 20, comes in, puts on hard tires. Also comes out ahead of Alonso. Lap 23, Max over the radio says he's not having a great race. And then on lap 25, Lewis Hamilton pits. Slow pit stop, 3.5 seconds. Then we have George Russell pitting on lap 26 for hard tires. Lap 27, Lando Norris pits. 2.1 second stop, hard tires put on. Also lap 28, Oscar Piastri pits. And he's covered off, just to cover off Leclerc and Ferrari. Okay, but the problem with Piastri, slow pit stop on lap 28. 5.2 second stop. Now Alonso, even slower pit stop on lap 28. He had a 9-second pit stop. Lap 32, George Russell has a 3-second lead. And Mac lops up on around the same lap and loses a lot of time. Now, George has a 4.2 second lead because of that, and it was a 2.8 second lead before then. Lap 49, Max is struggling to stay ahead of Lando. And Max has a lot of back markers to go through. Lap 57, Max is in second, still over Lando. And basically, this is how the race ended. George Russell, first place. Max Verstappen was able to hold on for second, and Lando Norris for third. Now, the controversy came in when Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris had that tussle. Oscar Piastri's coming over the team radio asking if they're going to investigate, and they didn't investigate. They said they'll look at it after the race. Now, also, there is a controversial picture when they were the constructors, where Lando, I'm going to pull it up, where Lando's celebrating with the team, and Oscar is visibly not there. So there's a little tension in the McLaren paddock, as we know. I really think McLaren, when they signed Oscar Piastri, they never thought he was going to be as good as he was. Thought he was going to be a nice second driver to complement Lando Norris, but no, that is not the case. Maybe I should turn down my mic a bit. Okay. So that wasn't the case. Now, the tension definitely has been felt over the season. Also, the season is very close. Okay? Let's pull up the standings. Okay? Let's pull up the standings right now. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull it up and put it in the middle of the screen. Okay? All right. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm just going to cover the timing. So we have the live timing, what happened in the race on the right side of the screen. Also, like and subscribe, and definitely we'll be doing more live streams. I'm doing more of a test of the live stream. So when we have a race in 2 weeks, when they're at COTA, we'll do a live stream during the race. Now, the points total, as you see, Oscar Piastri has 336 points. Lando Norris has 314. Max Verstappen is at 273. Now, that is the issue. Basically, in terms of, it's a really close battle between the two of them. There's about 6 races left, right? So, either Norris or Oscar Piastri can win the title. Now, what we do know, definitely, McLaren already won the Constructors' title. That's not out for question. That's what this weekend was about. It was about them winning the Constructors' title. But in terms of the World Drivers' title, that's still up for grabs. That's definitely still up for grabs. So as you see, yeah, we have the 336 to 314. Max, if somehow these guys have a couple DNFs, it brings Max Verstappen into play. But most likely, we're going to have a McLaren driver as a champion, which we haven't seen since, what, the 90s, Ayrton Senna? So this will be very, very interesting. Now, one thing we'll have to say, McLaren definitely stepped up this year. McLaren has always been kind of in the background, especially the past few years, between Red Bull fighting with Ferrari and Mercedes. You know, it's been a two-way, almost three-way battle for most of the year, especially between Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton driving, and Rosberg for the few years, and we have Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. So it'll be very interesting. We're gonna really see what might happen in the next 6 races. We have COTA, and then we have, okay, let's pull up the rest of the schedule. Okay, so what we have COTA left. We have the Mexican Grand Prix, Brazilian Grand Prix. Then we have the night race in Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Quite a few races. We're going all the way till December 7th. So we have 6 races left, okay? Now, let's go back to the standings. So as we see, it can be really interesting in the next few weeks. We're not sure who's going to come on top, but we're definitely going to find out. And I'm going to pull up some individual slides now of things that happened during the race that definitely has been talked about online, on social media, you know, on Reddit, on different platforms. So also like and subscribe if you're joining the video or you're watching it after the live replay or after the live that I'm doing right now. Okay, so let me All right, so I deleted that there. Now, we're going to talk about some events that happened during the race. I'm going to pull up some individual screenshots, right? And yeah, we're going to pull up some individual screenshots. Surprisingly, unlike MotoGP, I'm going to talk also a little bit about MotoGP. The season for Formula One is nowhere near complete. Nowhere near complete. I'm just pulling up some of the screens here. Just give me a moment. All right, so here we see on lap 1. Whoops. Hold on a sec. Okay. Right here, lap 1, you can see on the outside is Oscar Piastri, but on the inside is Lando Norris. And then we have Max Verstappen slightly ahead of them. Now, what happened here? When Lando Norris was on the inside, he darts quickly on the inside on turn 3 on lap 1. When he darts quickly, next thing we know, he's in front of Oscar Piastri. But he almost knocked Oscar Piastri. It looked like they did make contact. The commentator's saying that they made contact with Max Verstappen, but definitely you saw contact with Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Okay, so let's I'm gonna pull up another screen. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so let me change screens. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna pull up another one. Let's see here. There we go. So as you see, now we have Lando out in front of Piastri. Okay. Oh, nope, that's the wrong screen. We don't want to mess with that screen. There we go. I think I pulled up, that's a premature screen. I didn't want to pull up that screen. All right. So here's another shot. Lando, this is before. Lando's on the inside and Oscar Piastri's on the outside, and then Max Verstappen, George Russell's in first. That's the other thing about this race. George Russell, you got to commend him. From start to finish, he was in first. There are times he had a 5-second lead. There are times he had a 9-second lead. He did really good this race. Mercedes definitely figured out the balance this race. The low grip in the beginning seemed like there was going to be a lot of crashes with the rain 1 hour before the race. But luckily, there wasn't too many crashes. I don't even think there wasn't even a safety car. There was almost a safety car when Hülkenberg spun, but it didn't lead to an actual safety car. See here now, Oscar's ahead of Piastri, and then Max is in front. So immediately on lap 1, Lando gets ahead of Oscar Piastri, and he didn't give the place black. There wasn't no team orders. they let him race. Oscar Piastri was super pissed off about this. Let me see if I can find the picture of. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Because it was what it was they were celebrating, and he wasn't really I think he showed up after, but it was more Lando Norris and the rest of the team. So it kind of looked it looked bad, right? Right. So that was the issue. He was obviously super pissed off with the way he was treated. As we see, there might be an issue going forward in the next few years, because we know Oscar Piastri has a talent. He definitely has a talent. Here he's I'm even put on the screen the radio message he made. Okay. Here's a radio message that he made in terms of when he's asking them if they're going to investigate, right? This is a radio message. Okay. So what he asked, pull it up here. He asked, so are we cool with Lando just barging me out the way? Or what's the go there? Let me read that again. So are we cool with Lando just barging me out of the way? Or what's the go there? Totally, they are like, oh, we're going to check on the incident. Just please keep racing. He was not happy about that. One thing I did notice, everybody went to hards on the pit stop. And that was interesting. But then they were able to go to the end of the race. Everybody went to hards. Everybody. Or all the top, I will say, 9 drivers went to hard tires. Another thing people were complaining about, there was a lot of shots of the wives and girlfriends, commonly referred to as wags at times. The wives and girlfriends of the drivers. And there were certain overtakes that weren't shown. One thing that wasn't shown, I'm going to show you here. Hamilton, near the end of the race, he lost his brakes. His brakes were literally almost on fire. Let me put up on the screen just to show you what it looked like. So they're thinking, they were showing, I think, maybe Carlos Sainz's girlfriend at the time, or Leclerc, Lando Norris, one of the two. And when they were doing that, Hamilton's brakes were literally almost on fire. See, there's one clip here. As you see the flames coming out the left side. So if you're watching the race, you'll see the flames on the left side, and it's not that his brake was going to catch fire, but they were definitely overheating, and he even had a radio message that he lost his brake. So that was not all broadcasts showed that. Also, the commentators were talking a lot about, I guess the race maybe was mundane for them. They're talking a lot about the wives and girlfriends in the middle of the race. But the cameramen were focused on them, so I guess maybe that's part of the reason why. Okay? And but overall, you got to give it to Mercedes. They definitely figured out the balance. George Russell, he from start to finish, once he went in the lead from the beginning of the race, that was it. That was it for George Russell. I see some of the shots here in this, him celebrating when he got out the car. So that's the thing. It definitely was. Even Antonelli, his driving partner, did not do so bad. He finished in the top 10 also. Actually, let me make sure. Let me get the results for that race. Yes, let me get the results for that race. All right. So yeah, Antonelli came 5th. Okay, Antonelli came 5th. Mercedes had a great showing. It's very interesting in terms of all season. They've been kind of up and down. But they've past few races, they haven't been so bad. So we definitely have to give it to them. This is Max. Here's Zach Brown celebrating the win. Definitely well deserved by McLaren. They have been past few years. They've been slowly increasing their lead, or actually increasing their how do you say? Basically, incrementally, McLaren has been getting better. When they had Lando Norris and Danny Ricciardo, they were okay, but they were still kind of almost a mid-tier, middle-of-the-pack team. But the past few years, lights out. We might see a World Drivers title from them this year, it seems to be. So definitely, it's not just a two-horse race anymore with Mercedes and Red Bull, and then sometimes Ferrari, even though not Ferrari lately. That's another whole thing this year. Ferrari has definitely taken a little bit of a step back. So that's one thing we hopefully Ferrari can come back and, have a greater showing. 2026 with the newer regulations, you never know. So definitely, that's something we hope to see in the future. And as we see here, George Russell, this is him coming down the straight when he was about to finish the race. Another thing that happened in the race, Hulkenberg took a pretty crazy spin. And he was okay. It caused a virtual safety car, like briefly, for like maybe 20, 30 seconds. But no actual safety car came out. So let me show you the spin. Yeah, this is one shot of the spin there. Right? He totally lost it. He didn't actually hit anything. He just went into one of the runoff areas. And I'll show you here. Right? So right into the runoff area here, he went in and he didn't hit anything. So he was able to. The car actually had he actually activated the anti-stall, but he was able to get the car going again. So, that was really good. That was a different, not good, but that was interesting part of the race. The race started in the middle of the race, started to get mundane. There wasn't a lot of passing happen. Alonso, he was being funny. He passed, I think it was Coppolatino, and when he passed him, no, Hagar, yeah, Hagar. When he passed Hagar, he made a comment. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It was actually kind of funny because Hagar was giving him a hard time. He came out, remember, Alonso had a 9.2 second pit stop, right? So I'll show you here. Here he is. Oh, nope, that was the wrong button. Yeah, you see, I have to get used to this new software. It's been a minute. We haven't live streamed in a while. So, okay. So let me just show you here. Fernando Alonso had a really long pit stop. 9.2 seconds. Okay? 9.2 seconds. I shouldn't even close this window. Oh boy. Yeah. So, there we go. 9.2 seconds. So when he comes out, he's battling with Isaac Hadjar, or Hagar, okay? The French driver. He's battling with him, and he eventually gets past him, and he says something really funny. Alonso, he's a character over the decades. How can you hate Alonso? He's a great driver, and he has a personality. So here's a radio message, okay? So Alonso says about Hagar. Alonso says, trophy for hero of race. No, trophy for the hero of race. Yes, that's what he said. And I thought at first he was talking about himself because, maybe I thought he was talking about himself, but he was really talking about Hagar and how much he was giving him a problem in trying to, pass. So it was actually pretty funny. Yeah. So that was another part of the race that was interesting. Coda in 2 weeks. Coda's usually a hot track in terms of heat. It's Texas. We got those long straights, which is good. So we'll see how McLaren does. The only person who can mess this up is Max Verstappen, or unless McLaren gets a few DNFs. If McLaren gets a few DNFs, then they're going to be in trouble, because then Max Verstappen can catch up. As we know, Max Verstappen right now, 273 points. So he's not too far behind Piastri and Lando Norris. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, one thing we definitely have to talk about is what is happening with Ferrari this year. So I'm just gonna briefly, Ferrari, when they got Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion, it definitely looked like Ferrari had a chance to do great things. Charles Leclerc, capable driver. Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. Fred Vasseur, decent team principal. What happened? We don't know what happened. This year, Ferrari, not one win. Leclerc has a few podiums. Let's see when Leclerc podium. Leclerc podium in Qatar and Spain. And I think in Spain, another race. I'm gonna pull up this. Let's pull up Charles Leclerc's stats, just to get it officially. You know, we don't want to be guessing here. There's no reason to guess. All right, so Charles, second in Australia. Okay. He was in Miami, he was third. Imola, he was third. Spa, he was third. Oh, wait. Nope. I apologize. We're reading the wrong Drivers' Championship. I apologize. Let's get back to this. Okay. I'm giving out misinformation here. It's crazy, right? Okay, here we go. All right. So, Charles came, third in Saudi Arabia, third in Spain, and third in the Austria race. Okay? So, and then Hamilton hasn't even podiumed all season. So, like, disaster, especially for him. The best Hamilton has done is 4th place in some races, whereas Charles Leclerc has had 3 podiums. So that's the issue right now. Ferrari, what did they get wrong this year? Is it the balance? Is it the suspension? The power doesn't seem to be too far off the top teams. But in qualifying, most of the time, McLaren is so much better. And then we have, Red Bull with Max Verstappen. Even though they've had the controversy with Christian Horner and with Adrian Newey leaving the team, they're still Max Verstappen is still third in the Drivers' Championship, right? So it's not like they've fallen off a cliff. Also, I mean, they're 4th in the Constructors. But, like, that's still, they're still in the top 5. And, Max Verstappen, we already know what he can do when he gets in the race car. So it's very interesting that Ferrari has gone down this horrible path this year. Hopefully, 2026, new regulations, new car. Let's definitely see what they can do. It'll be very interesting to see what they can do. Hopefully, what we'll see is a resurgence from Ferrari. And if we don't, well, maybe McLaren will still be dominant. That's the thing. McLaren totally upset the apple cart. McLaren has always looked at it as kind of a mid-tier team, never in the elite. But the past few years, they've been creeping up. They have definitely been moving forward in becoming one of the top teams in Formula One. And we're definitely going to see if they're going to be... we're going to have a World Drivers title from... If we're going to have a World Drivers title from McLaren. Right? If you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat or leave them in the comments. Definitely we'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm just going through just to see. Yeah, Max Verstappen won last year. He's won the last 3 years. So this year might be the change because really and truly, if Lando Norris doesn't win, Oscar Piastri most likely is going to win this year. Oscar Piastri has been lights out. For such a young driver to master that McLaren race after race this year, like, let's be realistic. Piastri has 7 wins this year. Okay? Lando has 5 wins. But they also have a number of podiums each, right? And just McLaren has the balance this year. They definitely have the power. How many times in qualifying do we see Max Verstappen up there and then on the last hot lap in Q3, we see McLaren totally blast and get first or second place going into the race. I'm very impressed this year with how they've changed their appearance and how they've just stepped up their game. It's really incredible. And also, it get kind of boring watching Red Bull, or then Mercedes. Remember, all those years dominant. We love Lewis Hamilton, but year after year after year after year after year, it gets boring. It's the same thing when the early 2000s with Michael Schumacher. Love Ferrari, but when he kept winning, is like, do we even show up to watch the race? We already know what the outcome's going to be. Him and maybe Rubens Barrichello or any of his partners, as number 2. Michael number 1, his partner number 2. So that's definitely a thing that we have to look at. I definitely liked how this year has turned out. It's been competitive. We have the problems with Ferrari, but McLaren and Red Bull have given us a good show. McLaren and Red Bull have definitely given us a good show. And we have to wait and see, we have some young drivers that definitely, in the next few years, we're going to have to watch out for, like Kimi Antonelli. I really think Alex Albon has gotten back on track this year. A lot of top 10 finishes. He has 3 retirements, yes, but a lot of top 10 finishes. So the thing with Alex Albon, somebody you got to watch out for. Yuki Tsunoda, I'm not sure how that's going to work with Red Bull next year. I love the kid. He's really aggressive, but they've given him a chance this year, and we have a lot of top 10 finishes, but his best finish is 6th place, and that was in Baku. That was the last race. So definitely work in progress with Yuki. But you never know. He can get it together because with his aggressiveness that we've seen, maybe he just has to learn to drive the more premier Red Bull. Maybe it's just going to take some time. But we know in Formula 1, you don't get time. You get moved on unless, you're Lance. If you're Lance, you don't got to worry about your job. But yeah, it's been an interesting season. I'm more testing out the live stream today because when we do go live for the last few races of the year, just want everything up and running, and we don't have a problem in terms of the stream, or if the stream is running slow. I haven't checked the health of the stream. I should check the health right now. It's been a second. Let me look at the health. How are we doing? Excellent. Oh, we're having a little issue. Oh. Okay, we're gonna have to. We'll definitely try to fix. Definitely, we're gonna try to fix the stream health for the next stream. We're having. I see that. I just noticed right now. I should have been looking at the health from before. All right, so they're saying something about a keyframes, but we're definitely gonna. We'll definitely get that worked out. We're definitely gonna look into that. I'm not sure about that, but we'll definitely get those settings fixed going forward. Right. So, anyways, let's get back to just discussing the 2025 Formula One season. Okay. Also, one thing I wanted to say, Mercedes, very up and down. A lot of top fives for George Russell, I see here. He podiumed 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, he won this race recently, but he's podiumed in quite a few races. But overall, Mercedes, they've been slightly behind the ball this year. Toto Wolff, is he burnt out? Can Toto Wolff do it again? Also, it was a perfect marriage, Toto Wolff, Lewis Hamilton. Toto Wolff, Lewis Hamilton. But now, are they going to be able to get the balance right with George Russell and Kimi Antonelli? That's something that we're definitely going to have to wait to be seen. We'll definitely be doing some live streams going forward. And basically, yeah, we definitely wanted to make sure the channel's revived and make sure people feel comfortable discussing any Formula One news that they want. And that's what we're here for. We're here to discuss Formula One, build a community of motorsports fans, and, let's have fun and also just discuss these races, MotoGP, that season is done. I'm going to move on to MotoGP. That season is done. MotoGP, Marc Marquez won his latest world title. Right? So now he has 7. Marc Marquez has 7 MotoGP titles. I think that ties him with Valentino Rossi. Well, he has a total of 9, but that's when you add all his classes. But in MotoGP, he has 7. So, whereas Rossi has 9. Let's see them in terms of MotoGP. So Marc Marquez has 7, and the legend who's retired, Valentino Rossi, I think he has 8 or 7. Okay, let's see here. He has 7. So they're tied, both with 7 world titles. So if Marc gets another one, he will have more than Rossi, and he's definitely a legend. Definitely a legend. He broke his collarbone in Japan. So in Japan race, he broke his collarbone. I don't want to necessarily put it on the screen, just in case there's a copyright issue, but definitely injured himself in Japan, but it doesn't matter in terms of he already won the world title. Okay, so I'll just show you a screenshot in terms of the crash. Yeah, so he crashed in Japan, broke his collarbone. We know Marc Marquez, you know, he has gotten injured a lot in the past, but this is not something that I think is going to really hinder him, because in terms of oh, where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. So in terms of him coming back, I really don't think it's going to hinder him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So as you see, he was falling down. It was really early in the race. And luckily, just a broken collarbone. Other than that, he's going to be fine. There's only a few more races. And he literally picks the perfect time to get injured, because he won the world championship at the last race, right? So it was definitely a good time for him to maybe have an early vacation from the season. Ducati definitely wrapped up the constructors in MotoGP. Definitely love MotoGP. It's very exciting. No matter how good of a bike is, and they have all this air suspension and different ride height devices now. Still exciting, because at any time a rider can lose control, drop out of the race. You don't see that as much in Formula One, but MotoGP, you do see it a lot. Every race, you never know what's going to happen. It has you on the edge of your seat. Not many. They come to Coda for North America, but other than that, all the races are mainly in Europe and Asia. But when you see a MotoGP race and you see those crowds in Indonesia, Thailand, the Red Bull Ring, crowds sold out. Silverstone sold out. So you have to give them credit. They've merged with Formula One. So, you know, maybe they'll even have something where they have both events on one weekend at the same track. That would be very different. Very, very different. So, hopefully, we're definitely going to see. I am surprised that Francesco Bagnaia, he took like a little bit of a step down this year in terms of, I mean, he was doing so much better, but you know, I know he won the world title. I think he has 2 now. But Marc Marquez absolutely took over the team. And then the other thing that was surprising this year, Alex Marquez. Alex Marquez, out of nowhere, driving for Gresini, is second in the driver's title. I mean, he's well off Marc Marquez, his brother, by like almost 200 points. He has 362 points. Marc Marquez has 545 points. But with the Pramac being last year's bike for Ducati, usually the Gresini, the Pramac Gresini, for him to do what he's doing. Also, Alex Marquez, he's been in MotoGP, but he wasn't someone who you were looking for winning a lot of races or even challenging for a driver's title in MotoGP. And this year he's second behind his brother. Obviously second by a long shot, but he's second nonetheless. That's kind of incredible. So that's something definitely we have to give them credit for. I'm gonna put up a. Let me take a screenshot of this right now, and I'm gonna take a screenshot. So I put it up on the screen. The MotoGP standings. Oh, let me do a little more here. Okay. So let's pull up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Make this yeah, so as you can see here, let's pull up the screenshot. So Marc Marquez definitely wrapped up the title, but as you see, Alex Marquez, his brother, in second place. Like, Alex Marquez, this is I've been watching MotoGP for quite many years, and seeing Alex Marquez race like this, I'm actually gonna have to see if maybe I'm missing something, but I don't remember him winning many races or podium in the past few years. But definitely let me take a look here. Yeah, he was 8th last year in 2024, 9th in 2023. In Moto 2, yes, he won in 2019, but since MotoGP, yeah, this is his strongest showing in MotoGP. He won in Spain this year, and he won in Catalunya. Yeah, the Catalan Grand Prix. He did win that also. And the other years, you know, he's been top 5. He's podiumed. He podiumed last year in Germany. Podium in 2023 in Argentina. But never this close to ever winning something. I mean, in his first year in MotoGP, he was 14th in the championship. But if you want to see, I'm going to take another screenshot of that. He's been progressively getting better. So who knows? Maybe both Marquez brothers have the talent to become world. Maybe both Marquez brothers have the talent to become world champions, and that'd be crazy. Has that ever been done in MotoGP? Definitely, you'll have to ask like ChatGPT or something like that. But I don't think that's ever been done in MotoGP, right? For that to happen, that's an incredible feat. So I'm pulling up. Yeah, I'm pulling up Alex Marquez's MotoGP. Oops, cover myself. MotoGP standing. So this is Alex Marquez MotoGP standing since 2020. As you can see, just steady progression. 14th, 16th in 2021, 17th in 2022, 2023 he was 9th, 2024. He was 8th, and then this year he's 2nd. So, like, that's incredible. Maybe he'll become a factory Ducati rider. You never know. I mean, I don't think you can really move Pecco Bagnaia out the way. But it could be interesting. It definitely could be interesting. So, oh boy, we lost our background. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me get the background back. That's a little amateur there, eh? Whoa. We lost our background. Let me try to get it back. You know, see, that's what we're trying to work out the kinks. So then oh boy. Yeah, we're just trying to work out the kinks, so then once we actually start live streaming during a race, everything works perfectly. The stream is strong. You know, everything is moving. There's no latency, or there's no, you know, I don't sound like a robot or anything. Definitely that's what we're trying to do here. I'm just trying to get our background back. I'm not sure where our background went. Oh boy. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Trying to do this on the fly. being this is one of our first live streams. Actually, one of our live stream, we haven't live streamed in over a year, but we are definitely back. Uh-oh. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Okay, we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna just keep moving. One thing that we're definitely going to be doing is just more of these for the next. We're gonna keep the channel going. Start live streaming more often. So just giving you MotoGP news or Formula One news. Maybe do some more Indy, but maybe going into the new year we'll do Indy news. NASCAR we follow, but not as much as the other series. Formula One and MotoGP we're always following constantly. So yeah, definitely something you need to look out for. And I hope that you have enjoyed the stream. We're definitely definitely will be doing this more often. We're just trying to figure out some of the issues, right? And once we got all those done, we'll definitely be here more often, and also just the stream will be more fluid. Right now, we're more testing it out and seeing how everything is going. Because what we want to do is just have it nice and stable for when the race happens, and we don't want to have any issues, right, when the race happens. So I'm just trying to see if I can add the background back, but it seems that maybe I'm gonna have to do that when we start the stream over. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this is it, but oh my gosh, whoops. That's not what we meant to do. All right. So, if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments after we're done, and we'll definitely take a look and we'll respond. Definitely will be responding. All right. Since we're having some technical difficulties, we're just going to, I'm just going to continue the stream this way. And we can still discuss Formula One. Okay, so one thing that definitely we'll have to be looking into in 2026 is is Ferrari going to be back? Are we in a 2-horse race, or does McLaren figure it out more than any other team, and we're just watching 1-2 again with Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris constantly? Constantly. That will be very interesting, because there's a lot of new regulations in 2026, right? Also, we have Ford for the Red Bull, and then Cadillac's coming in, so we have new teams. It'll be very interesting. So I'm going to end the stream, but thanks for watching, and definitely let us know if you have any questions, and let us know what you thought of the stream.